Hey, it's Sandra! Welcome to another episode of Asexualized, My Asexual Life. This is supposed to be for education about asexuality, all things asexual, and I share my own asexual life journey in order to help you in yours. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit the great big subscribe button down below, right here, right now. Please hit that bell icon to get notified of every time I go live like now or post a new video. And if you don't know who I am Sandra Bellamy, author of this beautiful book, Asexual Perspectives, 47 Asexual Real Life Stories, Love, Life and Sex, a celebration of asexual diversity. I'm also the founder of asexuality.com and the founder of Asexuality Academy. Well, tonight's episode is probably going to be a little bit shorter than normal, but it's great because this guy came on ASAP. He approached me, said hi, and guess what? He's Indian, which is absolutely amazing. My favorite type of aesthetic attraction is for Indian guys. If you didn't know that already by now, I'm sure you do because I keep talking about it all the time. I believe it in law of attraction. So how law of attraction works, well, I'm still learning about it, but how law of attraction works is you put energy out there, you put intention out there, you put, what you want to receive out into the world, into the universe to attract it, right? So, I'm always putting out the fact that I like Indian guys. I can't help it. It's just in me, and I truly believe that I will meet my asexual Indian soulmate in the future. I do. I just really do. Anyway, this guy I thought was really nice because I didn't know. So he was on ASAP. I don't know if he watches this channel, but if he does, hello. And hello to whoever else is watching. So I just thought it was really sweet because he messaged me and just said, hey. And I'm like, oh my God, he's an Indian guy in his 20s. And oh, he is so beautiful. Actually, he doesn't look like he's got coloured skin, but he's still so beautiful. And we're coming from an asexual point of view, loads of women, if they like a guy, they usually go, oh, they usually think about sexual stuff, but I don't. I just think the guy's got beautiful hair. He's got a lovely t-shirt on, lovely face, nice frame as in shoulders, and I think that's a really big difference between someone who's sexual in thinking and asexual in thinking. I tend to like different things on a guy, I tend to like, I get attracted to the face more than anything. More than anything, I get attracted to a guy's face. I'm not attracted to his face. I'm not attracted to him usually, but I can grow to be attracted to a guy if I spend a lot of time with him and become emotionally connected to him. I can grow to be attracted to someone I didn't find that aesthetically attracted to begin with, because for me, when I get emotionally deeply connected with a guy and his personality shines through and I start having really strong connection with him, that's how I can love someone and even, find him really attractive in the end when I didn't before. Like it happened with my ex, he wasn't my type at all. He was like, when I first met him, it's like, when I first met him, he was a nice person. He didn't turn out to be a nice person. But, when I first met him, he was like, not my type, not particularly good looking. I didn't find him really attractive at all. And, it took me some time. It's only because I became friends with him for like 8 months before I got with him that, that developed into more, and so I think it's really important to note that even if you're not attracted to someone straight away aesthetically, there's some people I couldn't be attracted to. There's certain people that I just feel really, really repulsed by, you know what I mean? Really repulsed. There's something about them that just doesn't sit well with me. And I think that's more to do with just looks. I think it's their aura. It's my intuition feeling there's something not quite right about them. Like, for example, when I go out dancing, which I don't do it all the time, I don't have the cash to do it all the time. But when I do go out dancing as foreign guys, I'm not attracted, as to older foreign guys. But even guys, like who some people wouldn't think are that old, that are in their 30s, I can't usually even be attracted to them, even if they're foreign, just that aura, it just makes me feel uncomfortable because they're too sexual. I can feel it. Yeah, even though, I can feel they're sexual. I can, like when I was dancing with the Indian hypersexual guy, I'd call him, in my city, and he was Indian, I wasn't fussed about the fact so much that he was hypersexual because I felt really comfortable around him. I don't know what it is. It's just obviously I'm meant to be with an Indian guy, right? But I just thought this was really nice because he just said, hey. And I said, how are you? Cool t-shirt. Great profession too, And he just put, I'm good, Sandra. You tell me, thank you. You've an amazing smile. And I just thought that was really, really sweet because I didn't expect him to say it. Because, you know, when someone approaches me, I don't know if they're approaching me for personal reasons because they're interested in asexuality. And I put that I'm the author of an asexual book, or whether they're interested in me romantically or not. So I kind of like don't want to assume, do you know what I mean? And so when he said I have a nice smile, I mean, it could just be being friendly. I don't really say that to someone unless I'm aesthetically attracted to them. It doesn't enter my head. Do you know what I mean? It wouldn't be something I'd tell someone unless I was aesthetically attracted to them. So I just thought that was really nice. I thought that was so sweet. You know, and I did tell him straight. I did say, because I thought, shall I keep it secret? I thought no, because I believe in putting out to the universe what you really want and telling the truth like it is and being very direct, because one day there will be an asexual guy who turns up on one of these sites, or maybe he turns up in person to one of my meetups, you never know, and or comes in my asexual meetup groups online, or you know, my asexual groups online, and there will be a guy that turns up, and one day he will be in the UK or able to come over here because they have a job that just pays really, really well to get over here in the first place, or he can get a job over here because of being a profession that has sponsorship deals. And you know, it will be the right guy for me. And he, you know, so I just think cut to the chase nowadays. I think if I frighten guys off because I tell them that I'm interested in Indian guys, then obviously they're not the right guy for me in the first place. Do you know what I mean? Well, they're just not, are they? They're not the right guy for me in the first place if all they do is just, you know, spend 2 minutes talking to me and I tell them my soulmate's Indian, then it sifts them out. It sifts out the ones that are never going to be compatible in my entire life. Do you know what I mean? So I did, you know, I got down to the bare facts because I don't believe in messing around. Life is too short, I'm telling you. Life is way too short to just beat around the bush. I don't do beating around the bush. I've never done beating around the bush. I just don't see the point in life of beating around the bush and just basically get on and tell someone, isn't it? So I just put, oh, thank you. That is super sweet of you to say about my smile, because I thought it was really sweet of them. You are very aesthetically beautiful, your hair and face and frame. See, I'm honest. I thought if it frightens him off and he doesn't speak to me ever again, it doesn't matter, does it? Because there'll be some guy that does want to talk to me, most likely sexual. But no, there's going to be asexual guys. I'm getting more Indian asexual younger guys that are approaching me on this app. So the energies must be working. They must be going into the universe somewhere, right? Because I'm just getting these guys turn up more. People are quite surprised, actually, about how many foreign, younger guys in their 20s I do get messaging me. Do you know what I mean? Because I do attract them. So it's really good for me like that. So, yeah. So I told them the truth. I said my future dream, which is true, is to be in a relationship with an Indian heteromantic guy in the UK without sex. Oh, without sex, marriage, or kids. And one who can cook and clean for himself. Until I find the right one, though, I will remain single. And in Indian culture, most guys want to get married, even if they are asexual. I see you on here just looking for friends. So yeah, it does say in his profile he's just looking for friends. But then some can say that to not get hurt, you know, because if you've been hurt badly before, or you can't get involved with someone. He's in India, isn't he? But he's, you know, really aesthetically beautiful. His hair, I love his hair. It's like, you know, like it's like a combination of what I really love, because I love that sort of like Bollywood kind of like, you know, you can put your hands through the hair. It doesn't look very good doing it to my hair, but you know, and he's got spiky hair at the top as well, so it's kind of like it's big to ruffle your hands through, and it's spiky as well. Really amazing hair, you see, and that's what I like. Different things about guys. Do you know what I mean? And so you know, and I said, you know, and then he put that's amazing, which I thought was really sweet. You know, and he's a really nice guy. I don't want to, I mean, he hasn't really, you know, put much conversation with me, but he did say, you know, that's amazing. And, you know, where he is, not many, you know, people don't understand asexuality and it's hard, basically. So, you know, I said that I know asexual Indian guys, but sadly the only two over here that I have spoken to on this app, which is ASAP, are here very temporarily for study, which is no good when I'm looking for a soulmate life partner. I love kissing but hate sex. And that's the thing as well. Like, I am looking for a soulmate life partner. Do you know what I mean? And I was thinking to myself today, you know, if I end up with different guys, I probably won't end up with staying with them very long anyway, or in a long-term relationship, because I think I'm meant to be with an Indian guy. I don't actually think I will be satisfied in my life in terms of relationship unless I'm with an Indian guy. I'm keeping my options open because I don't want to restrict myself. Do you know what I mean? I think it's important to keep my options open, but I can't see me 100% ever being, you know, 100% okay with not being with an Indian guy. But it might, you know, I'm not saying it can't happen, but an Indian guy's my ideal guy, you know, it just is. And you know when you've got your favorite cake, right? And you go to a shop and you see all the cakes in the window, and every cake shop you go to, right, you see this one particular type of cake. So when I could eat sugar, because I'm allergic to sugar, I can't eat now, but when I used to eat sugar foods, right, cakes, I used to eat those chocolate eclairs. I don't know if you've seen them. I'm talking about a cake. So they're like a round doughy, they're like a, is it like a oblong? No, it's like a squashed round thing, isn't it? A bit like an oblong, but in a circle more. And you know, well, it's like a squashed circle. You know what I mean? It's getting late at night. I've just had rice noodles, so I'm feeling a bit woo hyper of rice noodles. And so anyway, a big chocolate eclair, right? It's got chocolate icing on the top and it's got loads of cream in the middle, right? And wherever you go to different bakeries, you just see this, you know, that used to be my favorite cake years ago. And like, you just see this favorite cake, or I used to just see this favorite cake all the time. And, you know, and I used to do, I know it's going to sound really sexual, but I did like licking the cream out of the actual cake, which was a real cake. It's not person. I'm talking about an actual cake. You know, that's much better. I don't mind using that analogy, but obviously it sounds a bit sexual. But anyway, you know, and the other type of cake I really love was very similar, where I love to lick the cream out, which sounds really rude as well, which was, what, you know, like one of those donuts you can get, but it's like elongated, again, a bit like an oblong round shape. And it's got like, it's like a donut type of thing with little sugary bits on top. And it's got cream in the middle with like a blob of like, I don't know, like cherry sauce or something. Those two cakes are my favourite cakes, right? But whenever it was my birthday, I always used to pick an eclair. Whenever I went to theme park for my birthday, it was a chocolate eclair, you know? So I'd have to say that was most best cake back then, you know? And that, you know, when you go round to shops, you know, if you've got a favourite cake, you always look for that cake everywhere, don't you? And this is kind of what it's like with me with Indian guys, you know? It doesn't matter where I go, it's like the cake is going to follow you. The cake is going to be like, over here I am. Remember me, I'm the cake you really adore and love. It's like, yes, I know. And it's like, you look out for the cake, don't you? Wherever you go to your bakeries, you look out for that cake. And wherever you go, like I used to go to theme parks and look out for that chocolate eclairs. And, you know, you just look for your favourite cakes because that's what turns your taste buds on, doesn't it? If you know what I mean. So, yeah, so that's kind of like what it is for me with Indian guys. I just find them so aesthetically beautiful, super intelligent. I do know there's disadvantages, you know, because, you know, a lot of Indian guys, they do expect a woman to be in the home, which clearly I'm not that type of girl. You know, and I don't want kids. And some of them are very hypersexualized, which I'm not interested in that, you know? So I can only be with an asexual Indian guy, you know, but I'm sure there are asexual Indian guys in the UK that are heteromantic, interested in a girl. I'm sure there are, and they're probably somewhere, you know, going to be there is going to be a young guy for me, isn't there? I'm sure of it, out there somewhere. But I just have to be patient. Sometimes it can take years to realise your dream, and I think you have to hold on to your dreams no matter what, right? But yeah, so I did say, you know, I said that, you know, I'll go back to what I said on ASAP. You know, I know asexual Indian guys, but sadly the only two over here that I've spoken to on this app are here very temporarily, like I said, for study. I have met one hypersexual Indian guy in my city who is nice to dance with, but he is not relationship material, just wants a woman for sex. He doesn't get out from me, but my dancing turns him on. You know, and I started talking about, you know, I did tell him, you're seriously beautiful. you'll find a gorgeous girl to be with you sex free, you know. But he said, do you want to connect over some other app? Can't fully read your messages here. Because I've had problems with ASAP as well. I can't sometimes see all people's messages, and sometimes it doesn't work for me. So it's really nice. So I've given them my Facebook details. Whether it'll connect with me on Facebook, I don't know. Because whenever I connect, whenever people want to connect with me on Facebook, show my profile, and it clearly shows I'm asexual and helps asexuals. A lot of people, they like, oh, I can't connect to her because she's public about being asexual. It's like, yeah, of course I'm public about being asexual. If you can't handle that, that's not my problem. Do you know what I mean? But I think it's nice that he wants to keep in touch with me so far. But, I'll find out. If he doesn't give me a friend's request on Facebook, I'll be just like, yeah, another one of those guys that's not interested in connecting with me on Facebook because it's too public for them, and I'll meet the right Indian guy one day, because I need a foreign guy doesn't care what people think like that. It doesn't give a toss. Sexual guys wouldn't care. They wouldn't care less. They'd be proud to go out with a nice, gorgeous girl. They'd be proud to be connected with a nice, gorgeous girl on Facebook. That's what makes me laugh. I've got no problem with sexual guys connecting to me on Facebook. They even though it says asexual, like asexual author, asexual speaker, relationships and dating coach, for asexuals, and it says out my website, so I post asexual stuff. No one else has got a problem with it. People that are already my friends on there don't have a problem with it, and sexuals don't have a problem with it. So why other asexuals have a problem with it? I don't understand, but I do understand, because they like to keep quiet about it. But it's like, come on, sexual guys don't care, so why should you? And that proves there are people who are sexual that are open-minded, that are just accepting. It's like, cool, she's doing that. I had this new guy connecting with me the other day, and he's like, oh, what do you do? And so I told him. He's like, oh, wow, guess there's there's a niche that everyone needs help with, type thing. And I'm like, yeah, do you know what I mean? I just love helping asexual. And I just thought, you've got a nice smile. It's really, really, you have a beautiful smile. It's really, really nice. Did they say you have a beautiful smile? You nice smile? They did say beautiful smile, didn't they? Oh, amazing smile. You've an amazing smile. I think I put beautiful smile here. I might have to change it to amazing smile. Oh, that's actually better, I think. I didn't see that. You've an amazing smile. Oh, well, I think that's kind of a bit better, because beautiful is kind of a bit generic, isn't it? You've an amazing smile. It's a bit like it's dazzling, isn't it? So I'll have to change that, I think, on the actual video. The video title. You've an amazing smile. I can't read what I've written now. But I have had people say I've had a beautiful smile before, though, which is nice. I just think that's really, really sweet, really, really sweet. It's a shame he's not over here. I often think that, it's just the same that some of these guys aren't over here. But I do know that some of them are after marriage and visas, and I can't be doing with that. It's not nice, I wouldn't wish that on anyone, I mean, obviously they've got to be quite desperate if they do that, but I don't even think they know what it entails. I mean, do they seriously know what marriage entails to get a visa anyway? I mean, why would you even want to do that? You still have to get yourself on a plane. You still have to get the money to come over here in the first place. You know what I mean? But, some of them do it. My cousin, who used to manage a hotel, she used to employ foreign people, and nearly all of them, she told me, did get married to an older woman just for a visa. After 5 years, they divorce a woman because then they have the right to stay in the country on their own. I don't want marriage as it is, so they don't get out with me. I told you that I'm in the asexual. I told you I'm in a group that's not for asexuals called UK Singles, and there's loads of guys in there that are after marriage for a visa. So it's not just in the asexual dating scene. It's very, very widespread across all dating stuff. I mean, this particular group says everyone from around the world is welcome in the group, which I think is fantastic. I think it should be diverse, but these people are just after visas. Just after visas. And I told you about a scam the other day. These people are just scam artists, and it's a shame. It's a real shame. It's like, have you got nothing better to do with your time? But you have to kind of think, well, if they're that desperate, you've got to feel sorry for them. You've got to have a heart for them, because if they're really that desperate that they have to, latch onto someone to try and get a visa out of them, it's just like ridiculous. But poor them, isn't it, really? But I do know there was someone in my old job, and they did get, not asexual, and they did get married to a guy from Africa, I think it was. Their husband was in Africa, and they're in the UK, and he couldn't get back to this country, or couldn't come over to the country she tried to get him in. So they've been married for years, and she can't get a divorce because he's out there and he keeps asking her for money and stuff. It's ridiculous. But she's actually is legally married to him. She got married out there and then came back to England. He couldn't come with her because they wouldn't let him in the country. So, you've got to be very, very careful with these things. You've got to understand them and know them, You just have. And a person should love you for who you are, not love you for your visa. Do you know what I'm saying? But I wanted this, video to be positive, though, because there are people on the asexual dating scene that are really kind and caring. They're not all after feces, and I just thought it's nice when the guy said, "You've an amazing smile." I thought it was beautiful, but he said amazing. But they're both good, I've been saying I've got a beautiful smile before, so that's really nice. But yeah, amazing smile. I think it's really nice, and I just wanted to share that with you because I'm on my journey, not just my asexual journey, but on finding my soulmate journey, which is an Indian guy. I know I've got an Indian soulmate, do you know what I mean? Even if I end up in a relationship with someone else, I just know I've got an Indian soulmate somewhere else, which I kind of think wasn't even the point. Unless I just do temporary or short-term relationships, which I've never done in my life before because I don't really agree with them, I think they're a waste of time, personally. And it's a lot of heartache and pain. I just think I'd rather be doing other stuff with my life. But, they work for some people, don't they? I mean, I do love kissing. There's not no one to kiss. Can't just kiss anyone either. So, but I'm happy with my life at the moment. Really, really happy with it. Loving it. And, there will be an asexual Indian guy out there in the UK. There has to be. And there also has to be an Indian guy who's different like me. Like, I'm very different to UK culture, right? Just because I'm in the UK, people seem to think that everything in the UK is so liberal and so free, and that we can do anything more. I believe anyone can do pretty much anything they want, but in certain countries, obviously, they are threatened with physical violence and worse if they do certain stuff. And I do agree that UK has got a lot of freedom overall. I love living in the UK. I feel very blessed to be over here, and I feel amazing to live here. I really do. I feel incredible. And I wouldn't want to move, but I am very different to the way I've been brought up. My parents are very traditional, bless them. They've been married 50 years, which is wonderful. They've got a different type of relationship to what I would have because they're a different type of people to me. But 50 years, 50 years is incredible, isn't it? Not, for some people to be married together and share their life for 50 years. I mean, that's just really, really incredible, and more power to them. Their relationship works really well, but I'm very different to my parents. But, they brought me up a certain way. In some ways, I'm not what I was brought up in a sense of like, it's like, get married and then have sex. Well, I don't want to get married and I don't want sex. But, even if I was to get married, which I'm not, I wouldn't recommend that. I would always recommend having sex with someone before you marry them. You do not want to get married to someone and not know that you can enjoy sex with them, even though I'm sex repulsed these days. You know what I mean? You just don't. Do you know what I mean? If you're sexually incompatible with the person and you get married to them for life and you're locked into them for life under a contract and you don't like them sexually, how on earth is that relationship going to be good for you? It's really not. I would always say to test drive them out first. Seriously, both you and them should test drive each other out. Always, including sexually. I think it's really bad advice. I know traditionally Christians advise that all the time. I'm not, personally, I think it's bad advice. And I understand from a religious point of view why they do it. And I understand it's very good to stop people, just having sex for the sake of it when they don't really love you because they're waiting till marriage. I get the theory behind it, the safety aspect. I think that's really good. But in practice, I would always, always, always recommend having sex before marriage. You do not want to be with an incompatible person. You know, if they like to do some really weird stuff sexually that you just are not down for, then that road is going to be so rocky, and you're going to be tied into a contract with a person for like the rest of your life, doing sexual stuff you don't want or refusing to, and then not having the intimacy you want in other ways, because the person's like, well, if you're not doing that, I don't know what to do because I'm not interested in that. Do you know what I mean? It can be really bad. You should try everything out. I mean, personally, I don't think you should get married these days, because I just think, you know, things might not work out. If they don't work out and you've tied yourself into a contract, it's what, 2 years to 5 years to get a divorce? I'm not saying you should, but I'm of the mindset that these days, unfortunately, a lot of people aren't compatible, and it doesn't work. You know, maybe that's because people are more modern these days. Both male and females are more modern, not necessarily all in good ways either, you know. And there's such a swipe culture, isn't there? And I think obviously if you get with another asexual person, there's a much more higher chance of it working out. Much more higher chance. Do you know what I mean? Like, I used to be engaged years ago, but I wouldn't do it again. And, you know, if I ever had done it, would do it again, it would be with an asexual guy, because I can't see me ever wanting to be with a sexual guy for a long, long time unless he had a very low sex drive. Or really, I was categorically 100% sure he didn't need sex. I mean, there are rare guys like that in the world, you know? So I don't think to say absolutely no and never to any single and everything, because anything's possible, isn't it? You know, in some ways I'd be more suited to a sexual guy because of the way I like to kiss, you know, which a lot of asexual guys are just not into. And so from that point of view, I can see why I'd be more suited to a sexual guy, but in most other ways I couldn't, you know. And I think compatibility is so important in all aspects. I would, you know, please don't get married without exploring. If you're going to have sex, you know, if you're an asexual couple that doesn't ever have sex, you don't need it, then don't bother with it. It's fine. You don't worry about it. But if you're a person who is going to have sex or try it, you should do that before you marry the person. Don't ever marry someone without doing that. It's just a recipe for disaster. It really is. You know, I don't believe it's a sin. I believe God wants you to be happy with your choices, and he wants you to be informed in your choices. And whether you have sex before marriage or you don't have sex before marriage, he will still love you either way, because he's God and he just has a lot of love for everyone. Do you know what I mean? If you believe in God. So I don't think like other people do, but I'm not strictly religious. I have to tell you that I don't believe in the Holy Spirit, you know, that part of the religion. God, fine. Jesus sits there and I speak to God, and yeah, that's pretty much my religion. The Holy Spirit, I just don't believe. I don't understand it. I don't believe it. So yeah, it's all cool, you know. And I believe in spirituality. I believe in the universe. I believe in things we can't see. I believe in reincarnation. I believe in pretty much loads of different things. So some people believe in either religion or spirituality. I believe highly in spirituality, intuition, reincarnation, all that type of thing. And some, you know, I believe in God at the same time. So, and theoretically, the Big Bang and God could have come about at the exact same time. It could be the Big Bang could be God. Do you know what I mean? So people like have one theory or the other. Why can't you just combine both? I don't understand. But, you know, I don't want to go into a religious live stream now because it's not really what I'm about. But I think, you know, intuition's the most important thing. And I think when you are going on asexual dating sites, when you're on ASAP, you use your intuition. I intuitively know I've got an Indian soulmate. I just know I have somewhere got this Indian soulmate. I feel him. I can feel him. And like I said, I believe there's got to be someone out there who's Indian, who doesn't want to have the norm, who doesn't want kids, who's not bothered one way or the other where they get married, who's very independent in terms of they can cook and clean for themselves, and who loves cooking for me or for someone in their life, you know, because some Indian guys do love cooking, you know, they enjoy that type of thing. So I believe there's someone for everyone out there. And I do believe, you know, you can break the norms and conventions. You know, like I said, I was brought up with getting married and having sex afterwards, but clearly I've already had the sex. Not that I'm bothered having it again, but clearly I've already had the sex, you know, and I'm not married. So I've broke that rule straight away. But I believe you set your own rules in life, you know. I just really, really believe that. I think it's very important to stick to your own goals in life, missions and ambitions, you know. And I'm not a traditional house person at all. I don't like cooking. I don't like cleaning. I don't like housework, full stop. I clean clothes, that's about it, you know. I don't mind doing that. Oh, of course I have to cook for myself. I had rice noodles which bunged in the microwave tonight, and I had chicken in the oven and some spinach for tea. So, well, it's more like just before I did this live stream I finished it, so nearly like midnight. Do you know what I mean? I have some strange times I eat, but again, that's not conventional, you know. I don't go to conventionally bed at 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. I don't do that. I'm streaming in the middle of the night sometimes, as you know. You know, I don't know anyone else that does a live stream every single day on their channel. I do know people that upload videos every single day, or they seem to, you know, they got videos out every day on their channel, but they don't do a live stream every day like I do. You know what I mean? So, but I'm just used to doing live streams. I love you guys to bits. Thank you so much for watching all this time. But I think, you know, I think you have to take from life, you know, what you will. And I think you have to create your own rules and not be ashamed of them, you know? And you know, I love my parents to bits. I think they're great in and of their own right, but I have to be myself as well. Do you know what I mean? It's really important that you stay true to who you are, because you are not your parents and they are not you, and they never will be. So it's best is just to respect each other and think, well, they're good in their own right, I'm good in my own right. Do you see what I'm saying? And I think it's really important that, you know, you do, like I said, create your own rules to live by. It's so important. I do believe there are people that are unconventional out there. Like, I'm really super unconventional. There's bound to be someone else in the world. There's bound to be an Indian guy, however traditional Indian culture is, that's different to the norm, that doesn't want to do what everyone else does in their culture. Because in every culture, in my opinion, there's always like more of a rebel type of person, more of someone who goes against their norms, more of someone who can't be bothered or doesn't want to, or fights against the societal expectations and stuff. You know, I mean, I've got Indian friends who are asexual, who have asexual meetups, who are loud and proud about being asexual, which is, you know, and then I get other Indian guys going, oh, I'm, you know, no one talks about asexuality, no one understands me, it's so quiet over here, you know, about asexuality, no one around. But, you know, then I have other asexuals who I know, who are campaigning for asexuality, doing talks on asexuality, being public about asexual events. You know, so there are different parts of India that are a lot more modern, and there are different people that have different expectations and that talk about things in public that others don't. So there are different people, and I think you've just got to get the right person for you. And I think, you know, if someone pays you a compliment, you know, take it as a compliment, you know, for what it is, you know. If it's genuine and good, you know, obviously there are some scams going on, which, you know, I will tell you more about, because yeah, there's definitely been another scam gone on, and I'm going to leave that for another video, because I'm seeing how that one develops for now, and then I'll report back to you guys as usual, because I like to keep you safe as possible. I like to tell you of scams that happen so you can try and avoid them and not get hurt yourself. I'm very clued up to these type of things, and I do sometimes follow through on it to test if it is a scam, without going all the way of what they want me to do and scam me, if you know what I mean. I'm not saying I'm infallible and I'm never going to be scammed, because no one's perfect, are they? You know, and I think it's sad when some people are scammed. Like I said, I've known on a previous video a long time ago, I've known two people on an asexual dating site. Both of them were scammed. This woman was scammed by this bloke. She moved countries for him for a relationship, and when she got there, he just wanted someone to look after his kids. Do you know what I mean? And he hadn't got money. I think he wanted money from her as well, and to look after her kids. And then there was this other guy who thankfully didn't move to be with this woman, but he found the same thing, that basically she just, well, not kids, but this woman wanted him for his money, was asking him for money when he got there, you know? And so you have to be so careful, you know. So I don't think you have to hold it against yourself. I don't think you should hold anything against yourself in life. I think you should just learn from things, because if you hold something against yourself, you're holding that bad energy inside you, and it'll just eat away at your soul, you know. There's no point. We all make mistakes, or we all get into situations sometimes that are not good for us, and you're a human being. But as long as we learn something from the experience, whatever it is, whatever the message is, it's really important to do that, you know. So, you know, when someone's being genuine, paying you a nice compliment, do enjoy it and think that's great. And when someone's, you know, saying it just to get something out of you eventually, you know, just be very cautious of those type of people, but just really really feel like if you haven't found someone in your life right now, so long as you keep putting time, energy, and effort into looking for the right person for you and don't give up, then, there's no reason why that person shouldn't come into your life, I know there's guys who watch this asexual channel of mine, and I know there's guys who just don't talk to me on it, and they do find me attractive. Some of them wish they were in a relationship with me, but they don't talk to me on this channel. They never comment on this channel. They're people I've spoke to before in private message, and they've left my life theoretically in private messaging, but they follow me on this channel. I love them all to bits in terms of they're all awesome people, and I really appreciate them being here and listening to some of my videos whenever they can, and I love them all dearly, as in the sense of I feel very like I really appreciate them, but it'll be nice if one day there's a guy who's brave enough to just be like, yeah, what's the point of of hiding? Of course I want to be with Sandra. I ain't scared of anything or anyone. Do you know what I mean? Because I can't be with a guy who's scared and living in fear or secret or admiring me from afar. Do you know what I mean? It's lovely they do that. I feel blessed, because some people don't have that in their life, but I can't have that in terms of a relationship. It just wouldn't be good for me, Someone should be loud and proud to be with me like I will be with them, And it's very interesting because I'm working currently on my Asexual Guide to Sex book. It's very interesting, some of the stories and opinions and advice and guidance in that book. It's an incredible book that isn't even out yet, but I just feel so honoured and blessed to be able to write this book. I seriously think it's going to be the best, most insightful guide on sex ever, because it's not disgusting with sex. It's education. I mean, there are some bits that if you're a bit squeamish or sex repulsed, because it is talking about some sexual stuff, you might be a little bit like or eek, but overall it's very, very educational, very informative, very insightful, and done in such a way that's really adult and sophisticated, I would say, so I'm really proud to be doing this book. I mean, at first I was a little bit nervous, because it's like, what, I don't like to think what a other asexual is going to think of me, because I like to live my life by me, but I do care about you guys, of course I do, and it's important that I get this book right, because I don't want people thinking it's a book that's just another sex book and I'm just doing it for the sake of it. It's actually a book that's going to help a lot of people, even people that aren't asexual, and just the insight will go down in history as literally the most beautiful, powerful, influential book about sex, I think, of all time. I really truly believe that, I really, really truly, but it'll be under my own imprint of Quirky Books, and it will be in the British Library and 5 others in the UK. It has to be by law because I'm a registered publisher in the UK, and it's just going to be there for history. Everyone's going to be able to see the asexual viewpoint of how sex really feels for us and what it's like. I cannot describe how amazing that's going to be. Do you know what I mean? Putting the world to right, basically, about, that not everyone does like sex, want it, or need it. And when we do experience it, it's very different to the average person, the average sexual person, for example. It just is so different, and that's why I'm so proud of the book. I'm so proud. And I'm so proud of all the people that have taken part. I've got loads of people I've got back and forwards email about it at the moment that have taken part in the book. I'm just so proud of them. I couldn't be more proud. They're very much taking it very seriously. They're getting stuck in with helping me out with their own stories and their own advice and guidance, and they're taking part in the editing process as well, which is a long process. I mean, you just see that end result and think, oh, I've just asked a few questions, they've answered it. It's not like that at all. Behind the scenes, I mean, I can't, because a lot of most of the people in the book, well, they are anonymous, they've either used aliases or just part of their name, not their full name, and so I can't show you their personal information like that, the personal emails. But if you knew the amount of work that's going into the Asexual Guide to Sex book, you would be be like, wow, I didn't realize that. Because along with my Asexual Perspectives book, this book here, people look at it and go, oh, it's just a bunch, most people love this book, right? It's got really good reviews, but there was a couple of people on Goodreads and they're like, oh, she just asked questions. So it's like, but they weren't just any questions. They were questions that I get asked all the time by people. They were very strategically placed in the way they were asked, in this Asexual Guide to Sex book is literally pretty much every question you could think about asking when you're thinking about trying sex for the first time, it is literally the book that I wished I'd had when I was 16 years old and first got asked to have sex by my boyfriend at the time. You know, it's a book that's going to help loads of people. It's not just some random book about sex. It is the book about sex that you need to have. I believe everyone should have this book. I seriously do, because I don't think they'll have seen sex in this light in any other book in the entire world, planet, universe. And that's a big statement. I just don't. And that's why I'm so proud of it. And I know that it's going to be a legacy for every asexual in the world. And I know the people that they're not interested in sex, they probably not even interested in this book remotely, but really they should be, because this could change the course of history for asexuality as we know it. And I believe that. I really believe that, because I know what sexuals think, because I've lived half my life pretty much in heterosexual relationships in the past, and I know what is contained in that book. And it's like unlocking the secrets to Pandora's box and finding out what asexuals really do think about sex. It's like discovering for sexuals, it's like discovering a world that they never knew existed, or they wanted to remain blind to, and now they can't. I just can't believe how happy I am and excited for it. I can't wait for it to come out. I can't wait for it to come out. I really can't. I'm so excited. I just can't wait to get this book out. I thought the first book was good for asexuals I did, but this is something else. It's just going to knock all the books out of the park where sex is concerned. It's just going to knock all the books out full stop. I just love it. I cannot explain how much I love this book. Asexual Guide to Sex is a book that everyone needs. It's just an amazing book. I can't describe it, you know. I'm just so excited. You can tell I'm just like a little kid, like on Christmas, going, I'm so excited, you know. I just can't stop going on about it, because the more I read other people's stories, the more I'm helping edit it, the more I'm like, wow, I'm just bowled over. I'm just blown away. It's such a fascinating read. I'm reading bits of the book. Obviously, I have to read everyone's story over and over and over again, and work out if the comma's in the right place, and if do you know what I mean, and little things like that. And I'm just blown away. You know, every single time I read someone's story, I'm just like, this is just incredible. It's so useful information. It's not like someone else has written it again, like psychologist or sociologist or sexologist, or you know, it's not like some therapist written it and it's clinical. It's not like that at all. It's from the ground up. It's a raw, real feelings of people who are asexual, have had sex. It's like such an immersive experience. I feel when I'm reading this book, as I'm going along reading people's stories, I feel like it's an immersive experience. You know, when you go to, like, you know, you pay for an immersive experience, it's a bit like 3D. I kind of feel like that when I'm reading the book. I feel like I'm in some like 3D real life movie, and I'm getting a peek inside people's minds. I can't describe it. It's just unbelievable. And I just feel I've got to do a Facebook ad and say all this stuff as well, because I think people need to know it. I've never done a Facebook ad for asexual. I'm not sure if I can, because Facebook don't recognise the word asexual usually. Although they have got some GIFs now about GIFs about asexuality, so who knows. But I think I'm going to try to see if I can do a Facebook ad for it, because I just think it'd be incredible, because I need to get the word out about asexuality, you know, and on a global scale, you know. And I might try a little ad first of all to see how it goes, or boost a post or something when it comes out the book. But I want to just explain it to people like I'm explaining it now, because even though I'm explaining it, I'm in awe of me explaining it. Do you know what I mean? Because it sounds like an intriguing book, and it is. I cannot explain it. It just feels like, you know, like I've paid to go to London to events before, and I've paid to see interesting exhibitions like science exhibitions and 3D stuff and things that move, animatronics and all that type of thing. I'm really into that type of stuff. It feels like one of those experiences, you know. It feels like a red letter day. Every day's a red letter day. Like every story is a red letter day. It feels like an experience. I would say the book is not a book. It's more like an experience. You know, it's just incredible. I can't get enough of it. I'm so thankful. God has blessed me. The universe has blessed me, whatever you want to call it, with the ability to write, and the ability to write books for asexuals, and to really hone down exactly everything that the reader's going to want to know. You know, the interviewees are just sensational. I couldn't have asked for better interviewees. every one of them is individual and different, but they're so amazing. They are incredible. I couldn't do the book without them. Really, they've made the whole book. You know, my story's going to be good, but their stories collectively are far amazing than just my story on its own. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're just like, phew. And I think it's amazing. I can't stop talking about it. Do you know what I mean? I'm just so excited. I really am. I can talk about it for the next 10 hours, I think. But it's going to be great because when it comes out, I'm just going to be so elated. I haven't decided on the book cover yet. You know, as in terms of if I'm going to put any picture on there or anything, or what the writing is going to look like. I got a bit of an idea, but it's got quite a lot of words on it, so I don't think there'll be much of a picture on it. But, you know, it's going to be good. I'm really, really, really happy. Anyway, I think I'll conclude tonight's video and say I'm sure you have an amazing smile too. I can't see you through the screen, but if I was seeing you right now, I'm sure you have the most amazing, beautiful smile too. So always keep on smiling in your life. Always keep on being ace, because you are ace. You're incredible, wonderful, and amazing. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for tuning in, because I know you who's watching now, you always, as soon as I go live, watch this live stream, and you're a quiet participating person, I think, or participator, I think it's the right word to use. And I just wanted to give you so much love and say thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you, whoever you are incredible. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you found anything interesting, insightful, entertaining, informative in any way, it'd be great to get a thumbs up, because when I get the thumbs up, it gets these videos higher up in search engine rankings. Obviously, if you got your settings on privacy and you got your likes on privacy, you know, if you're worried about people seeing you liking these videos, they won't see it if you got your privacy settings set to your likes to be private. I have, no one can see my likes, unless obviously they, you know, see me comment on the actual post itself. You know, people can't go to my channel and see what I've liked, because that bit's on private. They can only see public playlists that I create. But you know, so give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Please share it with someone if you think someone is going to benefit from it. Remember to always be the superhero of your own life. It's really important. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, if anyone else is watching this, and hit the great big bell icon to get notified of every time I go live right now or post a new video. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a wonderful day. Stay blessed as always, and keep on smiling, because I love you. Take care. Thanks for being part of my community here. Lots of love. Bye. Bye.